I do. Right, I've made a bit more progress. I've decided to make a little hardy hole, which I'm sure is what they had in the 10th century. So that was welded top and bottom. Welds were okay, I've just ground it down so it's a little bit less obvious. So that's just gonna, no, I'll push. So that sits like that. I've got this plate done with another hole done, so I've done a test fit. Anvil goes in there okay. I'm actually not going to put anything else in there, I don't think. Be nice to just have a little bit of space, because if I need to chop and change, if I'm going to have, you know, cut off tool or, you know, little twisting forks or whatever it is I want, I'll just chop and change there. That'll do the job. So I'm going to nail that in, and then I think I'll start making a few tools for that just to see what it looks like. I can't remember why. Oh, I know why I'm not going to fit that in yet, because when I made the anvil, it is actually hollow, so I still want to fill that up with bits of steel and just sort of melt a load of lead to get that in, just to, well, fill it up. And I'll just weld that over and that'll sit in nicely. So it's going to be a bit of a faffy job, so whether I'll get through that today or this week I don't know, but I'll see how the day goes. So right, I'm going to bash some nails in and see what that looks like. Right then, so that's nailed into place, and I have done my first fresh off the MIG little hardy tool, which sits in nicely, and I'm not touching it because I've already burnt myself once. So yeah, that works. Right, I'll show you the ugly welding inside. This is a pain in the arse to weld on the inside anyway, and what was even more of a pain in the arse, and probably carcinogenic, was this was galvanized, so it's difficult to get the zinc off on the inside, so that's why it looks even more snotty than, well, that one. So, but in time with a bit of dirt and stuff, you'll not see it. So yeah, I'll do something to tidy that up. There you go, there's that one done, and I'll put that there to cool off. And what am I going to do next? If I can't think of anything, that probably means it's sandwich and cup of tea time. Right, back in the bed. Right, had a sandwich and a cup of tea. So fresh off the MIG is my little twist and fork thing. I think I'll just, well, disguise the weld a little bit, and then I'll round it off a little bit, and that would be that. So I've decided what I'm going to do is, well, declutter all of that clutter. Well, that's going back to little because it keeps breaking. I'm going to work on these legs here, so I need to actually get this crap out the way so I can set it up and see what cross pieces I need to do to help hold the bellows in place. So this will be tidier in a minute. Ba-ding, it's tidy. Right, I've got them in place. So the idea I had is I'm going to make a sort of, well, if I point in the right direction, a sort of double goal post. So that's going to slot in to a square. Going to have a bar across the top, a bar underneath, and I'm going to have on the bottom bar is a ring sort of square thing to fit over there, both sides, and then on the top I've got some more box section which sits inside, and then that'll just sit in nicely in relatively securely. If I need to nip it up, I'll just stick a little bit of wood or something in just to, as a shim, just to help it stay in place. So right, that seems to work for me, because the other thing is, once I take that off and take them off and take them off, they'll still all flat pack into there. And well, with this being box section, this bit going in, I can still have something to slot in for me uprights for the long top arm thing, which I still haven't quite worked out the name for yet. Right, back to welding. Right then, bit of progress. So what I've done, I've managed to make the lower arm, if you can see, it's not the easiest to make out. So that's keeping these uprights close in, and I've also got, it'll come off, this bit welded up so it sits in on the top. I think if I'm going to make it, I don't know if I need to make it flush there or not, because it means I'll have to just trim a bit off there, but that sits on there quite happily. So I was just to sort of steady it all up and make it one piece, I need to put uprights on both sides. Well, then that's all self-contained. I've left those little gaps in. Yeah, it's cooled down now. So for the uprights for the top arm, I haven't 100% decided what I'm going to use to make them. Probably some more of this, but with some wood as well. Yeah, that looks alright. I think what I'll do, because it doesn't need to be flush to do that, this is just to stop it from flapping around, which it's doing. So I'll just tack weld a couple of upright bits on and then see how it looks. Aye, right, I'll see you in a minute. Right, one frame done. So that is solid. So quite pleased with that. Even that bit lines up with that square. Takes a few little jiggles to get it in place, but that's what you would expect. So I think other things I need to do is little cross braces for the back legs. I'll figure something out. I'm starting to get tired now. But yeah, that works out okay. Oh, the extra circles turned up. They were in a completely different bag to what I thought. So they're going to get turned into things soon. But right, I might faff on a little bit longer. I don't know. Oh, I think I'll do a little tester for the uprights. See how that goes. Right, I think I've got the energy to do a little bit on the uprights and then I'll pack in. Aye, one last blast. Right then, here's what I'm thinking. The height, I think is probably going to have to be, I don't know, 3 feet above here for the hinge bit. This one is about 6 foot. This is just so I can work it out. It's not nearly strong enough, but you have to have a bit over the end for the chain. This is a bit more like it. I've got to trim a bit off to about there, but then that makes it 6 foot plus, which does fit in a Discovery. I would just rather be a little bit more comfortable without having a great big spear size thing in between the passenger and driver's seat. I don't know. If this is going to be, well, the middle bit, so once you get the uprights in, if I use this sledgehammer handle that pokes over the end, and then do another one, if I use this one again, comes, well, comfortably there, and then I actually make the middle bit out of something like a bit of scaffy bar or some other sort of tubey metal that I've got knocking around. Could even be box section, I don't know. And then I can actually slot the two in, fix them in place with a pin. Then I've got strong wood with a strong joint, and I don't have to faff on, you know, with a great big massive thing. So I'll have a rummage around, see what bits of round ball and stuff I've got. Making the uprights, I think, is relatively easy. I think I may need to put something else in place just to steady it up a bit more, but overall I think that's pretty good progress for the day. So I think I'm going to pack in, have some food, and get my stuff ready for work. Right. Oh, one last thing. I was actually getting ready to fill this up with lead, and because I found my crucible and I know where the lead is, and the crucible doesn't fit. Balls. So it should get hot enough like that, but I'll figure something out in a bit. So right, I'm definitely going for my tea now.